practice blowing in the wind, following along with the different chords that happen on the verses and the chorus. You notice this is just verse 1 and the chorus. We have two more verse choruses after this, but we're not going to worry about that quite yet because it just copies what we're about to do now. Let's start with whole notes, and I'll keep mentioning which line we're on and what chord we're doing. All right, so we're starting with D. Again, index on 3-2, middle on 1-2, ring fingers on 2-3. We'll start whole notes and try to get the chords first. 1, 2, ready, begin. D chord. Now next up, over roads is G chord. Ready, go. Back to D. This is the word D over man. Ready, go. We have another D over the word down. Ready, go. We have even another D over the word before. Ready, go. Now the G chord over the word call. Ready, go. And D chord over top of the word man. Ready, go. And to finish off line 1, we have another D. Go. Second line, D chord. Ready and go. Going to the G chord next. Ready over the word seas. Back to the D chord over the word white. Ready, go. 2, repeat the D chord. This is the word sail. Here's another D. Ready, go. Now here's the G over the word sleeps. Ready, go. And then the A over the sand. Ready, A chord. Ready, go. 2, repeat the A chord. And that ends line 2. Back to the D chord. Line 3, go. G chord. Ready and go now. Back to the D chord. Ready and play. 2, repeat that D chord. Alright, there's even one more D chord. This is over the word before. Now here's the G over the word forever. Ready, go. And then A over the word band. Ready, go. 2, repeat that A chord. Going to the chorus now. G chord. Ready, go. Now the A. Ready, go. 2 to the D chord. Ready, go. 2, repeat the D chord. Back to G. Ready and go. 2, the A chord. Ready and back to D. Ready, go. 2, repeat that D chord. Good. So that actually ends the chorus. So we're going to go through this exact thing again. Every time I hit bass, if you want to, you're more than welcome to do a whole note to keep practicing just those chord changes. But I'm going to switch to bass pattern in 4, and I'll keep calling out the chord changes. Here we go. Starting with D. 1, 2, ready, and go. Going to G next. Ready now. Back to D. Ready, go. Repeat that. This is over the word down. Stay on D. Here's the G chord. Ready, go. And then back to D. Ready now. Repeated. Alright, second line. Stay on D. Over the word C's, here's a G chord. Then back to D. Ready, go. Repeated. This is over the word sail. Another D. Going to G over the word sleeps. Then here's the A chord over the sand. Repeated. Back to D. Here's the third line of the verse. Ready, go. Going to G. Back to D. Ready, go. Now here's your next D. This is right over the end of Cannonballs and Fly. Another D. Here's the G chord for forever. And then A chord for band. Repeated. Now we're going to go right into the chorus. G chord. Ready, go. Going to A. D chord is next. We've got this 2 times. And here's the second one. Back to G. Ready, go. Going to A. Then D chord 2 times. Repeated. Alright, so now the actual pattern for blowing in the wind will be campfire. So if you can't do the campfire and hit all these chords, you can go back to the bass pattern in 4 like we just did, or you can do the whole notes, whatever you feel a little bit more comfortable with. As I mentioned, getting the chords correctly first, that is the most important part, and then it's just wiggling your arm around to the beat. So let's start with the D chord, and again, I'm just going to be calling out the chords as we go through this. Again, I'm going to use campfire. You're more than welcome to use a different pattern in order to make sure you're following along. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, go. D chord, G chord, back to D, another D. Here's your third D, that's right in the middle. Here's the G chord, and this is over the word call. Then back to D, this is over the word man. Repeated. Stay on D, second line. This is the G over C's. Then back to D over the word white. Repeat. Stay on D. Here we go. G over the word sleeps. And then A chord over the word sand. Repeat. Back to D, third line. Here's the G chord over the word times. Then back to D over cannonballs. Repeat the D. Here's your third D, stay on it. Now G over the word forever. Then A chord over band. Repeat it. Going to G, here's your chorus, first line. G. Going to A. And then D chord. Here we go, back to G, second line. A chord. And then D chord. One more time. One more step before we end this video is I'm going to try to call out chords, and I'm going to add some lyrics to this so you kind of can follow along a little bit more clearly. Here we go. Please follow along. Again, if you can't do the campfire, which is bass, down, up, down, up, you can go bass, 2, 3, 4, or just 2, 3, 4. All right. Here we go, starting with the D chord. 1, 2, ready, go. How many roads must back to D a man walk down? Another D before G chord. You call him back to D a man. Repeat it, second line, here we go. How many G chord? C's back to D. Must the white dove sail? Stay on D before G chord. She sleeps back to A in the sand. Repeat the A chord, then back to D, third line. How many G chord times back to D must the cannonball fly? Stay on D before, now G, live forever, A chord, band. Repeat it, going to G, here's your chorus. Answer, A chord, my friend, going to D, blowing in the wind, back to G. The answer, A chord, is blowing, D chord, in the wind. Repeat the D chord, and we'll just end it here. All right, happy practicing.